What's up, everybody, and welcome back to A Beer a Day with TK. It's a warm one here in Findlay, Ohio. I'm hanging out in the shed, getting ready to check out a new beer. The beer I have today is Genesee Light, and this is from the Genesee Brewing Company out of Rochester, New York. Now, it's kind of interesting. When I went to Untapped, usually it shows you the beer name, then the brewery, and then if it's owned by someone else, it'll tell you, which I quite like because over the years I've been tricked too many times by macro breweries that open up some small I guess another brewery in their umbrella or their group, and you think you found a new craft beer, and indeed it's just some off label from Miller Butter Coors or someone. And I don't know. I always feel kind of cheated. I remember the first time I did that was years ago. I got something. It was a Sam Adams brew, but it had some other name to the brewery, and it just completely threw me off. When I got back and realized it was Sam Adams, I don't know. I felt like I got ripped off, sort of. Now, I would have tried it anyway, but I feel that it's somewhat deceitful when they do that kind of stuff. But what was interesting about this, I mean, we know what Genesee is. It's been around forever, like it says, from 1878. I think they're probably most known for the Genesee Cream Ale. To me, it's kind of an iconic beer. It's not the best beer in the world by any stretch of the imagination. But when you think of cream ales in America, I think Genesee is your go-to. For years, I think it was probably one of the few on the shelves. Now, I think back to when I was a kid, my great Aunt Marie used to have a case of Genesee back in the back laundry room kind of thing. And every time I saw it, I used to think that it was a soda. I thought it was a cream soda because it's in that weird kind of Kelly green can. Just didn't look like a beer to me. And I thought the ginger ale cans are kind of similar looking. And for years and years, I thought that Genesee Cream Ale was just a cream soda. I think I was probably in my 20s and realized it wasn't. Not that I drank it regularly or saw it on the shelves, but I always just thought it was, and then was kind of intrigued when I found out it was a beer. Thought I could have been grabbing those for all this time, and I didn't, right? I missed my opportunity there. Anyway, when we looked at the Untapped thing, it had the little link for the subsidiary, and it showed that this was a subsidiary of, I forget what the name was, but something out of Costa Rica, like a beverage company from Costa Rica, which really kind of surprised me. I don't know if it was a mistake on their part or what the deal is with that, but it was the first I'd seen that. All right, anyway, this is a light American lager, obviously. 4.2% ABV, 8 IBUs. That's really low. I'm not a hops dude, but 8 might be one of the lowest IBUs I think I've ever seen listed. Sometimes you see them listed as NA. They don't tell you what it is, so I assume it's a negligible IBU, but actually listing it as 8 has got to be one of the lowest ones that I've seen so far. As far as ratings, this doesn't do very well. At a 2.56 on Untapped with about 10,000 check-ins. On Beer Advocate, at an aggregate score of 61 or poor. Now, when you drink these, I don't know, they're kind of tough to grade. You know that they're not going to be good. Obviously, this isn't matching up to the big IPAs people like or the porters or stouts that I enjoy or Marzens. I mean, you have to kind of evaluate them based on their peers. It's like when you compare athletes from different eras. Could Mike Tyson beat Muhammad Ali? We don't know. They're from different eras. So the only way you'd ever know is if they fought each other, right? All right, let's check this boy out. Pale, if I'm going to use my Brew HQ SRM chart, I'd say this is like a 2. Pale straw. You can see right through it. Yellow. Fair amount of carbonation in there. The head had a thin white head. It dissipated quickly. Even when I tried to give it a bit of a harder pour, it sits there for about a second and is gone. Now, again, it's a light American lager. I don't know what I paid for this. I picked it up at a gas station. It's probably, $1.50 or something, if that. So I'm not expecting anything too robust or crazy. Let's give it a sniff. Not a lot. Kind of a light corn or adjunct kind of sweetness. When you have the adjuncts with that corn and rice kind of things, like a sweet smell, pick up a little bit of that. But it's not off-putting. It's not bad. Let's give it a shot. Cheers. Light bodied as you'd expect. Flavor wise, not a heck of a lot going on. You pick up a little bit of sweetness. It's not so sweet that it's off putting. You pick up kind of a little bit of that grassy, grainy kind of thing. Maybe a slight bit of hops, but it's barely detectable. It's kind of odd. You don't really get the hops at the end, like when you drink the beer. Usually, like when you swallow it, maybe you pick up that hops at the end. This kind of comes back later like an aftertaste with a little bit of a bitter hoppy aftertaste. Again, very negligible, very light hop presence, but you do kind of pick it up slightly. Um, yeah, I mean, it's not a great beer, but I mean, you knew that it was a buck something. What do you think it was going to be? Think this was going to be the Great American Beer Fest winner for $1.29? Come on. If I were to compare this to other light American lagers, um, I would prefer this to Miller Lite. I would prefer Miller Lite now again. I know somebody asked me to do a review before. Miller Lite is probably my most hated beer in the world. My brother drinks it. I know tons of people drink it. I don't know what it is about it. I just absolutely hate it. I will not drink beer before I drink a Miller Lite. So I would drink this over a Miller Lite any day. If you look at other light beers, kind of macro level beers, I would take this over Coors Light and Bud Light. I'd probably take it over most of the light beers out there. Does that mean that it's good? No. It just means it's the shiniest of turds, right? Now, if you line this up with the light beers that are done by the microbreweries, so Founders or Lagunitas, it's not even in the same sentence. Can't even talk about it in the same conversation. But if you were to compare this versus the other macros, I think it stacks up favorably. Now, that being said, if I was counting calories and I was counting carbs or whatever else you're doing with these things, I think you can do better than this. You'd probably have to pay a bit more. So if you want at Lagunitas or one of the others, Founders, you're going to pay considerably more, but I think it's worth it. So for me, the Genesee Light, would I drink another? This is tough. If I was at a party and someone gave me one, or I was at a ball game and someone gave me one, I would drink it. It's not offensive. But would I seek it out and buy another one? The answer is no. I mean, it'd probably be a one and done for me in that regard. I think if I was trying to drink a light beer, there's better ones you can get. Now, if you're on a budget and this is all you can get, you could do worse. So it's a strange, I need to create a new category and right? Like some of them is definitely yes, definitely no. Some of them are maybe I would. So maybe I'll create that category at some point. But until now, it's going to have to be a thumbs down, unfortunately. I wouldn't have another Genesee Light. Hopefully you like the video and you don't give me a thumbs down. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. If you'd like to see more videos like this, I hope you hit subscribe. And as always, you got any comments or questions, jumping down below. Have you had Genny Light? What do you think about this compared to some of the other light beers that are on the market? Let me know in the comments below. Hey, till next time. Cheers.